Here we go with Robert. Robert, this is interesting. August 14th, you are split up in terms of the fight. That's part of life as a world-class trainer. How are you handling August 14th with Joshua Franco and with Virgil Ortiz?
Well, look, they're both training very hard. Virgil, we have the, we're fortunate to have his dad that's been part of his training camp all his life. He's pretty much the person that has made Virgil what he is right now. So that's a big advantage. Plus I also have, my son, my dad that are also involved. So we, when things like this happens, actually it's kind of hard, but at the same time we could call it a blessing because we have two very big important fights in different locations. That's a lot of work for us. So it's actually a blessing that we're able to have this kind of fights and kind of work for the team.
So my understanding is that Virgil's father will be with him
Correct.
in Texas, and you guys are going out with Joshua Franco. Is that correct?
My father and Pita will be with Virgil, and I will be. Me and Chepe will be with Franco.
Going back with both fights, should Virgil handle Mean Machine with the way you want him to? Do you think he's ready for any of the belt holders at 47?
I think he's ready for any of the champions. Will it happen next? More likely not. Probably not because of the promotions. I think the way Virgil's going to be able to get a title fight is going to be one of those fights where the organization demands a purse bid and for mandatory pretty much, because which promoter is going to want unless it generates big numbers and they do a 2-3 fight deal, then something like that could be worked out. And Golden Boy and Top Rank have been able to work stuff out like that. I don't think we would be able to do something like that with PBC, but with Top Rank, yes. Franco, just a perfect example. We got an opportunity to fight for the world title against the Top Rank fighter, but the deal was a 3-fight deal. So that's why we're doing a third fight for Top Rank, because there was a 3-fight deal. So I think something like that could happen with Virgil.
Going to the fight with Joshua Franco and Moloney, it was like a tale of two fights. First fight over the summer last year in the bubble. It seemed to me like Franco won that fight going away. Scorecard's probably a little closer than reality. Then the rematch, who knows what could happen? You get the clash of heads. How did you assess that whole situation? What was that like the night of that fight as they're going through the replays for it seemed like 20 minutes?
Well, it wasn't easy because we're in our opponents pretty much home with the promoter. We've seen Bob Barum arguing, and everybody just trying to get the commission to make a decision. We were worried. I was the only one there with my fighter. Nobody from Golden Boy was there to protect us. So I was a little worried that they were gonna find a way to take the title from us. I think the commission did what they had to do. The ref, called it headbutts, and there was a lot of controversy. There was some solid jabs too. I'm not disputing that, but there was also a few headbutts in the first round where the ref called them and told both guys to watch their heads. So so the fight ended after the second round. Not much to see. Because for those first 2 rounds, that doesn't mean that was going to be the result of the fight. The first fight, Joshua started a little bit slow too, but finished strong and put a beating on Moloney.
Because of the way it played out, regardless of what side you take, the controversy itself, do you think there's more bad blood in the third fight than there was in the first 2 meetings?
Well, I think that there should be. Moloney's going to come stronger to try to get his title. He feels he got screwed in the second fight. We know the situation. We know that we're going again against a top-ranked fighter on a top-ranked promotion. So we got to be stronger and win more convincingly.
It's interesting the way you're split up on August 14th. That is the life of a world-class, not only a trainer, but a training camp. You're not going to always be with every fighter, every single fight.
Look, it's not the first time that something like this happened. It's actually, this is the second time that happens with Virgil when Josito Lopez fought Keith Thurman. he fought that same day, and my son went with Virgil, and I went with Josito. Brian Vilora and Stevie Luevano both defended their, they had title defenses same night, different locations, and we split up. My dad went with Luevano, and I went with Vilora. So it's not the first time, and I hope it's not the last. It sucks, but that means we're actually working and we're doing a good job.
So what's your schedule like the next 6 weeks?
Well, for right now, we're in the gym every day until we head out to Texas and Oklahoma for maybe 2 or 3 days before the fight. We're still training the rest of our guys. We have a lot of other guys that are fighting. Mikey's already in camp. We don't have anything lined up, but it looks like something soon will be out there for him, and already in training camp. So this is it for us. We and then after 6 weeks, we're gonna have another group of fighters back in camp, getting ready for their fights. So it's part of our routine.
We talked about this about 3 weeks ago. I know there's a lot of talk of Mikey fighting Regis Prograis.
Correct.
The fight that I think would be fascinating is him against the Tank. What would you think of that particular matchup?
I would love that. Tank is a great fighter, very strong, solid guy, very popular also. I think that fight will probably be bigger than any other fight right now at this level. But it's also business, and it also has to make sense for both. I know Tank is with this win that he got and the way he looked, the winning by knockout, moving up in weight and all that, it put him in another level where he's going to demand so much. So it's a fight that should happen, especially when Mikey has been working with PBC, and fights that could really happen. But it's all a business, and it has to make sense for both.
This is a fight that I think is interesting. You have a perspective on it, given the fact you've faced both guys. Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, August 21st. How do you see that fight playing out?
Man, I think it's going to be a great fight. Both fighters are great, but because of just the fact that Manny is willing to take those chances at 42 and a half, almost 43, being able to do that, I'm actually picking for Manny.
You are? No, do you want Manny, or are you picking him, though?
I want Manny, and I'm also picking him. He's gonna. This is.
That's interesting. So
I think he's gonna give us the fight of his life, and I think he could pull it off by decision.
He hasn't fought in 2 years. Now, some would say rust. Do you think that could be rest at his age? Do you think?
I think it's rest. At his age, I think So he hasn't fought in 2 years. So Spencer's fighting a 40-year-old. You know what I mean? He hasn't been taking any other fights, any other beatings, any other killing himself, making weight. So for 2 years he's been off. And I'm sure he's been training. He's always in shape.
You think his biggest advantage is quickness and speed?
Quickness and speed. I think that's what. And he's got power too.
Right.
He's got power. So I wouldn't be surprised if he actually hurts him. But I think by decision. But I'm picking Manny.
Wilder Fury 3. What's the advantage coming in?
I think Fury has the advantage, but I don't. I called it. I said it from round 1 in the rematch. The first fight was a great fight.
Yeah.
It was a great fight. Second fight, Wilder. When I seen the first round before any knockdowns or anything, I was watching it with my wife. I told her something's wrong with Wilder. I don't. His legs.
So you did see something.
Oh yeah, definitely. 100%. I know something was wrong with him. He did not. It was not the outfit or none of the water or none of that stuff that came out later. I think there was more reasons. There's other reasons where maybe Wilder just doesn't want to mention. But something was wrong with him. So that means that the third fight is going to be another great fight. I still pick Fury, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if Wilder puts it off.
Neither guy has fought since February 22nd, 2020. This is going to be like almost a year and a half. Does that favor one fighter or the other?
No, I think both are in the same. I don't think it favors any. Both are professionals, and I'm pretty sure they both know that fight was to come. So they both have been staying in shape.
You've been in a situation where you've developed fighters, stuck with them for a long time, but you've also been a troubleshooter that's taken over established fighters. Now, Malik Scott, good boxing guy. I know him very well. It's interesting. They're going to go right back into a Fury fight. If you were a new trainer like Malik, would you have wanted a tune-up fight, or do you feel as though it really doesn't matter?
Well, look, personally, I would have picked the tune-up fight, but when you're into that type of fights with all that much money involved, and it's hard to say no to those fights. Also, the trainer, the manager, the whole team. Those are fights that generate a lot and that make a lot of sense, and especially if you have a chance of winning, why not go for it? So I don't blame them for taking it, but on another level, maybe not that kind of money, I would prefer a tuna fight. But come on, those fights are fights that you might not get them in the future. So.
As they say, business is business.
Exactly.
What's the fight? Because I know you're a boxing fan. You still watch all the fights. What's the fight you're looking forward to the most upcoming?
Well, right now it's Pacquiao versus Spence.
Yeah,
that's the fight I'm looking forward to. It's going to be a great fight. I think it could go either way, and more likely Spence might going to win by decision, but I'm thinking Pacquiao has what it takes to pull it off.
By the way, great young prospect that I love will be a future world champion, Bam Rodriguez. What is going on with Bam? We haven't seen him in a while.
Look, he was scheduled to fight. The fight didn't happen in Vegas. I have him training right now. I'm actually in talks for something big. Hopefully, I was told that it's almost a done deal for next month. So we're waiting. Bam gets here tonight, back to training camp, because I was told it's almost a done deal. I can't really say what's next, but it's a big fight. It's a big fight, and the kid is great, man. The kid could be a 4 or 5 division champion without a question.
You have a lot of prospects. There's a particular prospect that excites you.
Well, it's Bam.
It's Bam.
Bam. He's young. He's talented. I think the fact that he's also a 108 pounder.
You can't wait forever, right? You got to move him quicker, don't you?
Him, I like the fact that those kids never make $1 million purses, but they're so the fights are so full of action and so exciting, and his skills are unbelievable. I talk to matchmakers, top rank, Brad Grumman, and it's hard to get opponents. He tells me, Robert, the commission, they think this kid's like another Lomachenko. So it's not easy to get opponents. So that's why we've had trouble getting fights for him. But if this comes out good, we should know in the next couple of days. It's a big fight. So hopefully it does happen.